All right, class, welcome back to English 1301. We are going to dive in today to our third major portfolio this semester, our third major situation with work here. This is the profiles essay, not the profiles class. I've finished grading the profiles essay. I think I've got one more to grade of a student who had to make some adjustments to the portfolios, but I've graded those portfolios, class. You have your grades back once again if you turn those in. And there may be a couple of students making some adjustments that I asked to. Class, one of the things that you want to remember before we move into the review essay is once again, when you turn in a portfolio, it's very simple through Blackboard Messages, the separate documents, and I've read some great portfolios, a first draft, and then the Writing Center verification, and then the final draft. And remember, class, that what I want to see on that final draft is it appears as a final draft. There's been some students who turn into me their final draft, all the corrections that the Writing Center made or suggestions. Class, that's not a final draft, that's a rough draft. So the final draft should be turned in with all of your corrections made, and it should look exactly like the handout I sent you on correct formatting for college essays. And part of my job as a professor is to continue to help you with that. To continue to help you with that. And I am. Class, there was, on some of these profiles, there were some students that, had gotten the format perfect on their memoir, and then they'd send me profiles with no title for their profiles, spacing all messed up, problems with indentation. Part of my job, once again, as a professor at the community college, is once again kick it back to you and say, come on, once again, for me to help you. Because once you leave me, class, you'll be gone from me. And I want you to have these skills so when you go on to the university, it'll be extremely helpful for you. So that's why I'm working with students one-on-one. I've read some great, once again, profiles. I graded 7 days a week over spring break. Every day I graded to try and get these done. Okay, so that will be the same that we'll need once again for the review essay. Same length the review essay will be, 700 to 1,000 words. So we know what's going to be in the portfolio. We know the length of it, what it's going to be. Class, once again, those profiles have come back to you. And then class, once again, say, for example, you're in a situation where you didn't get the work in, you haven't completed the work this semester, you maybe didn't turn in a memoir portfolio. Class, once again, it's no judgment on my part. It's we're in a challenging time. Once again, class, my suggestion is drop the class and then take it again next semester. Because at the end of the semester, if you don't drop the class, the way college works is your name's going to appear on my list, and once again, I'll be forced to give you an F in the class. And I don't want to give anyone an F in the class, but that's the way it works, okay? So in college, once again, you take care of yourself, you take care of what you need to do, and be good to yourself. Once again, class, be good to you. Don't beat yourself up. Say, for example, you didn't get the work done. Once again, be kind to yourself. We're in a tough situation with the pandemic. Say, you know what, my head isn't it now. I'm going to get out of this. And then you can always take it again. You can always take it again. But remember, in college or in my college situation, once again, you don't get passed on. It's just as simple as that. I can't. Okay? I need to see the work done on time. It needs to be done the way it's done, etc., etc. And then class also, I had some students that I've sent emails, have emailed me, and one student, a couple of students wrote to me and said, you know what, Mr. Welsh, and it almost made me cry. A couple of students told me, in high school, the teachers told me I was a really good writer, but they never graded my work, or I never received any feedback, but they said that I was good. And they said, I'm working really hard, but, I'm not making the grades that I need to make. I'm like, welcome to college. Okay, I'm here to help. This one student told me, I'm so glad, Mr. Welsh, you graded my essays and you've taken the time. No one ever did that in high school. They just told me I could write and slapped a grade on the paper. Yet, you send me back my paper and you have justified why, once again, it's a D paper. Or you've sent me back my paper and you've justified why it's a failing paper. You send me back my paper and I see now why it's a C minus paper. So, class, to move on, that's going to be one of the most important documents you ever received in college, because once again, I've taken the time to grade your paper and let you know, once again, where the deficiencies are. And sometimes it's just the basics. So when you get those back, if you're having a problem with run-on sentences, class, if that's a big problem for you, clean it up. Because if you don't clean it up now, you'll never clean it up. Community college is the last house on the block. You've got to get the skills together here. You're having problems. Once again, I had a couple of essays where the students were switching tenses, past, present, past, present, past, present. Did it so many times, F. I got to fail it. So the student will know that is something I need to work on. That's what happened to me at the community college. I think I've mentioned this before. My first essay was a D minus. And I looked at it and I started rubbing my head and I was like, wow, how is this a D minus? But then I got real serious about it and I dove into that essay, which is what I want you to do. Why was this a D minus essay? I asked myself. And then I started looking at it, and then I went to the writing center. And I had a writing center person that helped me this a long time ago. And then he started, telling me, hey man, you must have missed this in high school. Or you didn't get this. This is a very simple concept. And, he made me feel like crap. And then I knew that he was trying to help me. He said, he basically told me, we're in a whole new playing field than what you did your last 2 years of high school, Welsh, when you were partying and you were on the streets and you were running it hard. That's over. That's over. Clean it up. Let's clean it up. And I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked. So when I give you these documents back and it's like an F or a D, C minus, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? And it's up to you. I knew what I did with it. And when I got those essays back in college, I said, wow, my professor is trying to help me, even though it didn't seem it at the time. My professor is trying to help me. And once again, I got to hit it. I got to hit it, and I got to bring it up. Those professors at my community college changed my life. And that's what I do help with my students. Now, once again, if you want to take an English 1301 professor that won't grade your work and just do in high school and put grades on it and give it back to you, you can find them out there. Go take them. Go take them. Okay? I've heard they're out there. I don't know who they are. I don't judge anyone's teaching techniques, but I know for me as a professor what I have to do to help my students. And I have to help them just like my professors exactly did for me in college. Once again. And then once again, with that said, I've read some good work this semester. Some good profiles. Some stunning profiles. Grades from A to F. Right in between. All right? What are you going to do about it? That's the thing about college. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to clean it up? Just like when I was in college, it's like, man, what am I going to do about it now? Am I going to cry? This is me talking to myself. Am I going to cry? Am I going to say, you know what? I'm not going to work. For me, I had to work my ass off to come up. Okay? And I did. I did come up. Doesn't mean I'm special. It just means that I wanted to, I like college. I wanted to stay in it. I wanted to have the skills. I wanted to become an educated man. I wanted to step it up. And I had to work hard. But I'm still working hard in my life as a writer and a poet. All right? So, class, a lot of good work. Let's move on. Class, now your next essay is going to be a review essay, and let's help you with that. Let's help you with that. Let's talk about these deadlines, when they're going to be due, and what we're going to do today to help you. Class, if you're in sections 21308 or 21355, which is right here on our course policies and calendar, note that your essay is going to be due in about 2 weeks. So you got time. I'm here to help. Your essay's due on the 13th of April. April 13th. You're going to turn it in. I'll make some adjustments to this, because we make some slight adjustments because of online teaching. The bottom line is on the 13th, not before the 13th, not after the 13th. Or if it's after, once again, 1 letter grade for each day it's late. On the 13th, you will turn in a first draft through Blackboard Messages. First draft, final draft, Writing Center verification. That's the portfolio. Send them in 3 separate documents. Boom. And then what I always do, I'll start hitting it. I'll start grading it. Your due date is the 13th, 2 weeks from now, approximately. So we got time. During that time, you'll write the drafts. You get it to the Writing Center. The Writing Center get it back to you. You work on your final draft. Boom, you turn them in. Now, if you're in class on my next set of classes, your section 21288 or 21305, when you pull up your course policies and calendar, you see that your date will be due on the 16th, just 3 days later. Okay? And then it talks about in here peer reviews. The reviews you're doing are with the Writing Center. Writing Center is helping a lot of people. Once again, do they give you the language? Do they do everything for you? No. But they help. Once again, it's your job to do the work. Your job to make up for the deficiencies, if you have them, within the language. And you just keep working. Just like I'm still working class. Still working, still hustling. Still working, trying to come up, trying to improve. Still working, still working on those skills. Like I said before, if my Spanish is going to get better, Español, I have to hit it. I have to engage. In class, I know what it's like. I said before, sometimes of being tired, or situations where, I'm going to go out and El Paso. I say, oh man, I'm tired today. I'm not going to speak Spanish. I'm not going to, no Español. No hoy en español. No. Por professor de inglés, Mr. Welsh. No. Tired, because it takes work. And then other days I say, come on. I'm going to go out and speak all Spanish today. Mucho trabajar en español. I need work. So once again, my respect always for my students. Always. So many of them. Because their Spanish is up here. And my Spanish is way down here. So that's a lot of respect I give my students. Always, man. Always from este corazón. Corazón, from my heart. Respect. Once again. Because I know, it all takes work. Class, very good. So we got those due dates. The 13th and the 16th. It gives you time. We talk about what you'll turn in. On the 13th, those students that are in that class, go check your course policies and calendar. First draft, final draft, Writing Center verification. That's it. And then once again, I pull it up and I'll hit it. I hit it every day until all of it. Got a lot of students, class. I grade them. I hit them every day until they're done. Like I've been doing this semester, right? Trying to help, carrying a message of hope. All right. Community college is all about hope. Class, very good. And then also this week coming up, before we get back into this class, I want to wish you a great Easter, okay, for some of you. To rejoice for some people. Not all, and it's all right. Rejoice in the sorrow and the beauty of Easter, the crucifixion and the resurrection. If you roll that way. If not, that's fine too. It's all good. We're going to have a Easter break class. Big time of year. Big time of year. Big stories. Class. Now, good. We got the deadlines. Let's talk about the review essay. Class, you're going to write a review for me. You've got the handouts, okay? You've got the handouts. You've got the readings from your textbook. Boom. Reviews. I'm going to lecture on this. Boom. Reviews. The handouts. Once again, it talks about what we're doing here, class. So, class, one of the things that we're doing here, excuse me, within the reviews, little allergies today, is I'd ask you, if we're in class together, when was the last time you evaluated something? When was the last time you evaluated something? I want you to think about that. And then we realize, class, that for most of us, we're always evaluating something. Last night, my wife and I watched the film on Netflix, The Dig. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's incredible. It's a fine piece of filmmaking. The Dig, all right, on Netflix. And is excellent. Why was it excellent? Class, in my own mind, without reviewing it, I'm reviewing it. So we're always reviewing something. Had excellent acting. I'd go in specifics. Excellent plot. Excellent set design. Excellent filming. Excellent language. It's a great movie. No doubt about it. Almost perfect. It's pretty stunned. I could write a review on it. Sort of thing you're going to do for me. So evaluation. We're always in a period of evaluation. Your next essay for me is going to be an evaluative essay. Okay, where, once again, you come up with criteria on ways to judge things. Stepping back. When we look in the mirror, we evaluate ourselves. When we get up in the morning, face the mirror, we evaluate ourselves. Sometimes when we see people on the street, we evaluate them. How do they look? How are they walking? Once again. What's our evaluation of them? Since the beginning of the semester, even though it's an online class, the way I've been doing, you've been evaluating me. What sort of a professor is Mr. Welsh? Once again, kind of wish we were in class, but we can't be because of this pandemic, So, how do we evaluate this online class? How do we evaluate this in-person class? How do we evaluate how Mr. Welsh has evaluated our essays? Once again, evaluation. Was that a good book? Was that a good restaurant? What made it a good restaurant that I went to for this specific essay? Because you're going to do something specifically for this essay. Class evaluation. It comes from from criteria on the board. The Greek criteriae, a standard or rule by which something can be judged. Evaluate, a standard or rule by which something can be judged. So, say for example, when I go to evaluate your essays, what do I evaluate them on? Class, what criteria or standards do I use? I evaluate essays in regards to format. I evaluate them in regard to sentence structure. I regard them in regards to paragraphing. I grade them in regards to grammar. I grade them in regards to content. I grade them in regard to organization. I grade them in regards to punctuation. All these things that are so important, and because I'm an English professor. All right. So, once again, we need to be thinking about evaluations from the Greek, standard or by which something can be judged. All right. So, class, say for example, if you had to write a review of a job, you could come out and give me an opening paragraph, and then you'd have to have 3 or 4 standards by which to judge that job. Okay? If you're going to write an essay, do a body paragraph for each of the standards, and then you would let the reader know, is it a good job or not? So a job, what can we evaluate it on? 1, pay. What's the pay like? Okay? We come into pay. Okay? Pay for what you do, for what you have to do. Class could also have to do with number 2, working conditions. What are the working conditions of that job? Is it a good job? What sort of class? You can be making a lot of money, but you can have rough working conditions. It's like the situation with a Sarco that's now been closed for quite a long time in El Paso. It's a great job. Old school, one of the oldest jobs in El Paso. A lot of men worked there, got their families through college, supported their families. A lot of their kids went on to become teachers and policemen and doctors and lawyers out of El Paso, and professors through their fathers working at a Sarco. However, working conditions were rough. There's a lot of pollution there, a lot of arsenic. Okay, it's rough, but the money was good. So what are the working conditions that you're in? So pay, working conditions. You could talk about those specifically for the money you're making. And then class, once again, benefits. Okay, are there benefits with the job? What sort of benefits? Is there paid sick leave? Is there time off? Is there a pension plan? Okay, some of these, we don't get these in our early jobs. I'm just like you, class. I mean, I don't want to say I'm like you, but, I've worked my whole life. My first job was a dishwasher. I don't think I ever worked so hard as a dishwasher for $2 an hour when I was 16. Okay. And then so I could say, what that job was like, but I saved some money. As a dishwasher. And then I became a telephone salesman, telemarketing guy, and computer stuff as a guy. Then I become a waiter again, waiter twice in my life. Then I went to work at the supermarkets for 10 years, stocking shelves. So I know about work, class. Can you judge the job on pay, working condition, benefits? And then you come up with one more. You want to come up with 4 standards or criteria by which to judge something. Okay? By which to judge something. Very good. And this all goes along with the handouts I've given you. Now, so you want to think anytime that you're going to write a review, you want to think about 4 ways, 4 different things on which to judge something. Say, for example, you are going to write a review for me, and you have to do it specifically for this essay. Okay? Specifically. And what I'm going to do at the end of this lecture here, I'm going to let you go do your reviews on what you want to do. Class, you could, for me, write a restaurant review. Restaurants are back open now. Okay? I won't let you do a buffet, but a sit-down restaurant. You want to go into a restaurant and review it, class? You go in, see what, you take your pen and paper, whatever it's going to be. You got your pen, you got your paper. You're going to sit down, class, or you could have, paper on the side or a little piece of paper in your pocket. But the bottom line is, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be taking notes. Notes, 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 notes. So you could do a restaurant review for me. Any restaurant in town, but it's got to be, a sit-down restaurant. And how could you review a restaurant, class? What 4 or 5 things could you review it on, class? You go in, you have your pen, okay? You don't have to make a big deal about it. You could have some paper on the side. You could have a notebook. And once again, what do? You go in for your review. You start paying attention. You start paying attention. In a restaurant review, 1, what could be the criteria? Quality of food or food in general. What's it like? Then you tell the reader, what's it like? Okay? You want to take it apart. Say you're going to a Mexican restaurant. Say you're going into a Mexican restaurant. You're going to order a plate of enchiladas. Class, as a reader, when I read these 700,000 words, I want to taste those enchiladas, class. I've been in El Paso a long time, over 25 years. I was in Los Angeles my whole life before that. So I know Mexican food. Am I an expert? I don't know. We had some good, different Mexican restaurants in LA. And a lot of great Mexican restaurants in El Paso. My wife, who grew up here, is kind of an expert on enchiladas. Last night she made me go get some. Was the last night, the night before, I went down to the Riviera on Donovan. Place I like. Do they make enchiladas? Yes. Are they the best? I don't know. They're good. We had some fish tacos also because of Lent. You get in there. You tear those enchiladas apart. You let the reader know how good they are. How's the cheese? How was the red sauce? How was maybe the mole? How hot was it? What was the texture on the side? How were the rice? How were the refritos? If they had chips and salsa out front, I want to know about it. Chips and salsa or refrito papas salsa are an art to themselves. Some restaurants just kind of throw it out there and it's not that good, and then some restaurants really pay attention to their salsa, their papas, the chips and salsa. I want to know about it in your review. So, restaurant review. Food. Take it apart. Main thing. Customer service. Let us know. Once again, how was the waiter or waitress? What was the service like? Cleanliness of the place, the environment. Class, once again, overall experience. 3 or 4 ways for all restaurant reviews are reviewed the same. So you come out with an opening paragraph, and then you give your thesis statement of whether it's good or bad, or a combination, and then boom, boom, boom. Each paragraph after that, just letting the reader know why was it good or bad, or why was it a combination. Okay? And that's what you do for everything. So you could do a restaurant review, but you have to go there. You have to, whatever you do, you're going to be sitting down and you're going to be taking notes, class. Notes. So, and from the notes will come, once again, your essay, because you're going to be, notes about the food, notes about customer service, specifics, notes about the cleanliness. Class, a restaurant review, I'd go to the bathroom, mention what condition the bathroom was in. Okay? Notes. Look up restaurant reviews online. Okay? 700 to 1,000 words. Got to have notes, because without the notes, we have nothing. Okay? This is our impressions that we had coming down. So, class, 4 or 5 ways to write a review. Now, let's talk about this, class, and we'll see if we can finish up with this. So you're going to have to write a review for me on page 408 in this handout. It talks about on your homework about coming up with some ideas of what you could do for a review. Okay. So I'm going to talk about possibilities here and lecture on this, starting on page 408 in this handout. It's on your syllabus. For this assignment, write a review. It tells us to pick something to review that you know well or that you find interesting and would like to learn more about. You'll write this review for a particular group of readers. So just think that you're writing it for me or like the local paper. Now, in this thing, it talks about possibilities that you can do. And some of these I'm going to tell you can't do. But what can you do? A live performance. Attend a musical concert, a play, or a club with live music and write a review of that performance. First bullet point. Yes, you can do that. Now, I'll even let you stream something. I'll let you stream or on your computer because we're in a pandemic. We're in coronavirus. Could you do a concert? Yes. Could you watch a play? Yes. Could you attend a live music event? Yes. Stream it. However, watch it on your computer and write a review of the performance. All those you can do, class, and write me a review of it. Media. Could you do a television program? Yes. Could you listen to the radio and do a radio show for me? Yes. Sit down. Sit down with your radio. Okay. Sit down with a morning show. Pen and paper. Let me know if it's worth watching. If it's worth hearing, say on a radio. Satellite radio, non-satellite radio, AM, FM, whatever. Let me know. Drop me in with specific details. Is this good a radio show? Is it a good TV program? Could you write a movie review? Yes. I just talked about The Dig last night. Sit down. Watch a movie. Take notes. Notes. What would be the criteria for judging a movie? Plot, acting, cinematography, costuming, soundtrack, filming. Boom, boom, boom. There's your movie review. With your thesis in your opening paragraph, letting us know whether it was good or bad. And then after that, boom, 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 paragraph, transition, conclusion, backing up your thesis or whether it's good or not good or a combination of both. Class, could you do a review of the web? Yes. You could go to a website. Let me know. Let me know. Maybe the website for the community college. Review it. How good is it? How good are the graphics? What's the ease of getting through it? What's the amount of information? Could you do an online magazine and review it? Yes. Could you do an online newspaper? Yes. Could you do a news site for anything for the web, class? Let me know how good or not good the site is. Could you do a library site? Yes. Anything on the web. You could review a website for me. Class. Exhibitions. Local museum. Yes. Okay. Historical museum. Yes. Art museum. Yes. Books. Could you write a book review? Yes. Once again, let us know about the book. Let us know about the story. Let us know about the writing. Let us know about the use of language. Let us know if it's good. Let us know if it's bad. I want to hear from you. I don't want to hear from the New York Times. I don't want to hear from the El Paso Times. You don't want to plagiarize these. I've caught students doing that before. Class. We don't want to do that. That's grave if that happens. You want to do your own work. I want to hear from you. Class. So you could do a book review. Could you write a review of a sports game? Yes, it says here a preview. No. But you could review a game. My son's in the other room right now watching the Sweet 16 on college basketball. I was just in there before coming to you. It was Gonzaga and Creighton. Okay. You could sit down with one of those games and review it and let us know it was good or bad. And what was good or bad about it. Okay? Sports. But you got to do it for this assignment. Can't be something you saw in the past. Has to be done for this assignment. Class, leisure and entertainment. Restaurant review. We already talked about that. Do it if you want. Class, you want to say you went to a park and want to review a park. You can do it. A hiking trail. You can do it. Education. Write a review of a course you have taken. No, I don't want that. Letters of recommendation. No, I don't want that. Politics in the public sphere. No, I don't want that. Rating system. No, I don't want that. Greatest or best lists on page 409. No. Paired reviews. No. Everything else. Yes. Class. So, what else could you do? I had a student a couple years ago said, Mr. Welsh, I want to do a review of a new lipstick. Can I do it? I said, yes. Do you know about lipstick? She's a good writer. I said, get in there and tear it apart. Let me know if that, I think the lipstick was called Moonrise Over Detroit. Moonrise Over Detroit. Get in there. Let us know if that lipstick's good. Okay. Class, if you're going to review a car, you got to drive it. Okay. It's a little hard right now in the pandemic. You'd have to go out and get the car at the dealership and drive it and write a review of it. But you could do that sort of review. But I got to hear from you what it's about. Class. You want to review a particular store? You can. Class. All these things are possibilities for you. Okay. But it's got to be something done specifically for this class. It can't be a concert that you went to a year ago or a movie you watched a year ago because you weren't taking notes. You weren't doing the footwork and you weren't going to write. So if say you saw that movie a year ago and you want to write a review, you can, but you need to watch it again. Okay. You're going to need to watch it again for this class. And then, take the notes, write the review. So those are all possibilities. Give you a lot of possibilities of what you can do. Any concert, sporting event, restaurant. Class, one I forgot about. Sometimes young men, sometimes women too say, Mr. Welsh, can we do a video game or, something like Dead Red Redemption or some new video game that's coming out? Yes, you can review it. Let me know. Is it good or bad? What's up with it? So you can do those two. And any other possibilities that you want to come up with, class. Very good. So those are a lot. Now, so class, very good. Remember, when you come out, opening paragraph, give us some background information. This is the standard for writing these. Little background, little history, and then boom, let us know. Your thesis statement will be whether you liked it or didn't like it, whatever you're reviewing, or a combination of both. Then transition to the next paragraph, take up one thing. It's a restaurant review, getting that meal. Let me know what it was like. Next paragraph, talk about the customer service. Next paragraph, talk about the environment or the cleanliness of the restaurant and what's going on with the environment. Did they have too many TVs? Was the music too loud? Was it pleasing? What was the art like? What was the cleanliness? Class. All right. And then one more thing, could be, once again, what was the bathroom like, et cetera, and then close it up with a conclusion, letting us know what this experience was like in the restaurant. Okay. So that's what you're going to do for me, class. That's what you're going to do for me. And good luck with these. All right. So 408 to 412, we talked about what you can do. And then, class, we talked about the deadlines that we're going to turn these in for me. Class, also, I'll have a live session, hopefully by Wednesday this week, where you can ask me any questions. Once again, we dealt with those deadlines, the 13th and the 16th. Got a couple weeks to get these done. Sit down, pen and paper, whatever you're going to do, take notes, write me a review, 700 to 1,000 words. When you turn it in, first draft, final draft, writing center verification. Okay? And that's how we are going to do the reviews. Okay? And then from there, we'll keep moving through the semester. So class, very good. And then when we have our live session later this week, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday, if you have any questions, class, you can ask me. once again. Any questions you have whatsoever, I'll take it up live. I've read some great work this semester overall that my students are doing. Keep up your hard work. Once again, I know what it's like to be in college. I know what it's like to work. Class, very, very good work we've done this semester, and be good to yourself, class. Don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself. If you haven't done what you feel like you need to do, don't beat yourself up. Remember, there's always next semester. Always time. Get back in the game. You get back in the game. You have a great semester, good. Okay, fantastic. Some semesters may not be that good. Happened to me in college too. What always happens great about college, there's a next semester. All right. Sometimes I've had students say, Mr. Welsh, I have to pass English 1301 this semester. All right. No problem. All I do is I treat every student exactly the same. Go through the list, see they haven't turned in the work, see that they haven't done the work, say, you know what? You're not going to pass English 1301 this semester. So it's up to you to figure out what you're going to do. You're going to take it again, but don't be telling me you have to pass when you're not doing any work. That's high school. Okay? This is college. You're not going to pass. All right? So figure out what your next step is going to be if that's the situation you're in. All right? Don't be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't cry. Ask yourself, am I going to once again hit it next semester? Am I going to be a new student next semester? I've had some really good students this semester, class. I always do at the community college. And then some students are trying to figure out whether they want to be in it or not. Don't beat yourself up about that. Be good to yourself. But then once again, realize, the only way you're going to pass the class is if you have a passing average and you've done the work. That's it. All right? That's it. Okay, very good, class. Well, I'm wishing you well. I hope you have a great Easter and, Easter Holy Week this week, Easter, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, the whole thing, however you do it or don't do it, it's fine with me. But class, good luck. Know that I'm here to help. And with that said, class, I hope you have good days ahead and you're enjoying the spring weather. And with that said, good luck, good luck, good luck as we come down to this final stretch of the semester. Kind of the final third of the semester. And I'll be continuing to give you updates. All right, class, keep up your hard work. Best of luck with everything.